Hello, this is the luckiest maths teacher in the world. Thank you so much for tuning into this video in which we will look at volume. So let's look first at the volume of this cube with side length 1 meter. Its volume is 1 meter times 1 meter times 1 meter, 1 meter cubed, because it has 3 dimensions, each of which is 1 meter. Of course, we know that 1 meter is 100 centimeters. If I want the volume of this cubed in centimeters cubed, it's 100 times 100 times 100. It's actually 1 million centimeters cubed. 1 meter cubed is actually 1 million centimeters cubed. So this is just showing you why, even though there's 100 centimeters in a meter, there's 100 cubed or 1,000,000 centimeters cubed in a meter cubed. So when you are converting cubic units, you need to also cube the conversion factors. What I mean by that, so the conversion factors are each of these numbers. We know, for example, there are 1,000 meters in a kilometer, so there are 1,000 cubed or 1,000,000,000 meters cubed in a kilometer cubed. Once again, if you're going from smaller to larger unit, divide, because there are fewer of the large unit. If you're going larger to smaller unit, you times, because there are more of the smaller unit. So this part here is actually really important because volume is just how many of these cubes fit inside a shape. How many cubes of volume, 1 meter cubed or 1 centimeter cubed or whatever, fit inside the shape. So that's volume. We also need to know capacity. Capacity is the same as volume except for units. In capacity, we use units like milliliters, liters, and kiloliters. So units that you typically associate with fluids. So here is a conversion chart for converting between units of capacity and also between units of volume and units of capacity. A milliliter and a centimeter cubed are exactly the same thing. And there's 1,000 of them in a liter, and there are 1,000 liters in a meter cubed. A meter cubed is a kiloliter or 1,000 liters. So the volume of this cube here was 1 meter cubed. That means it would hold exactly 1,000 liters. All right, let's now look at finding the volume of some other shapes. So if you're finding the volume of a prism or cylinder, use this formula. This says volume equals area of base times height. For a pyramid or cone, it's the same thing, area of base times height, except you need to divide by 3 for a pyramid or cone, and then volume of a sphere, 4 over 3 pi r cubed. So let's start here. This is a cylinder. So to find the volume of it, we are going to find the area of its base. So if its diameter is 12, its radius is 6. The area of its base is pi times radius squared, and the volume is area of base times the height of the cylinder. So if I put that in my calculator, I'm going to give the answer to 2 decimal places. It's 2,035.75 centimeters cubed. So volume measures the space inside the shape. This means I could fit 2,035.75 little cubes in here if each cube was 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter. So that's its volume. What about its capacity? Well, we know that a centimeter cubed is equal to a mil. So the capacity, it would be 2,035.75 milliliters. Now to go from milliliters to liters, you divide by 1,000. So this would hold, dividing by 1,000, about 2.04 liters. All right, let's now look at this. This is a cone. So notice it has like the same dimensions as the cylinder. It has the same diameter and it has the same perpendicular height of 18 centimeters. So when you're finding the volume of it, it's going to be the same as the cylinder. It's area of base times height. But when it's a cone or pyramid, you need to divide by 3. So putting that in our calculator, again, I'm going to give it to 2 decimal places. It's about 678.58 cubic centimeters. So that is 678.58 milliliters, which is just under 0.7 liters. All right, let's now look at this sphere. So this poorly drawn sphere has a radius of 2. Its volume is simply 4/3 pi times radius cubed. So again, giving it to 2 decimal places, I get 33.51 meters cubed. So if I want to know how much water this could hold, I just times that by 1,000. See, 1 meter cubed is 1,000 liters. So the capacity of this, 3351 times 1,000, I get 33510 liters. It would hold 33,510 liters. That might seem like a lot, but a sphere with radius 2 meters is much, much bigger than you or I. A meter cubed is actually quite big. It holds 1,000 liters. All right, let's now look at some challenge questions. So this one asks us to calculate the radius of a sphere with volume 32 centimeters cubed. So we've looked at these kind of questions before. Whenever you are asked to find a dimension, a side length, in this case the radius, from a volume, surface area, always start by writing the formula. So first step, I'm going to write the formula for the volume of a sphere, which is 4/3 pi r cubed. The next step is always to substitute what you know. So we're told here that volume equals 32. So I'm going to rub out volume, replace it with 32. So now let's solve this equation. Let's rearrange. So the way I undo timesing by 4/3 is to divide 4/3. So if I divide each side by 4/3, I get rid of this fraction here. I'm left with 24 equals pi r cubed. So I now undo timesing by pi by dividing by pi, and that will give me 24 over pi is r cubed. So that, remember, the way I undo cubing is to cube root. So we put in our calculator cube root of 24 over pi. So I'll give my answer to 3 decimal places. This time r is approximately 1.969 centimeters, and we're done. All right, let's look at this one. 2 prisms below have the same volume, which has a larger surface area. Well, you might be able to guess off the top of your head, but to formally show that, we're going to need to find the surface area of each of these shapes. So I'm going to call this shape 1 and shape 2. So shape 1, the rectangular prism, its total surface area, the formula, if you've forgotten, is 2LW plus 2LH plus 2WH. So putting that on our calculator, we actually get 288 centimeters squared. So now let's find the surface area of this cube here. So in order to find the surface area, we are going to need to first find the side length. What will be the side length? How do I find that out? Well, I'm told that these two have the same volume. You see, the volume of this one is 12 by 6 by 4. So that equals 288 centimeters cubed. So if this cube has volume 288 centimeters cubed, then its side length S is going to be the cubed root of 288. Now, I don't actually want to round this because I want to use this in a subsequent step in my calculation. I'm going to use this number to find the surface area. So I'm using the exact value here. So that is the side length. Now, the total surface area of the cube, it's always 6 times side length. So the side length was the cubed root of 288 squared. So giving my answer this time to 1 decimal place, it's 261.7 centimeters squared. So clearly this has a larger surface area. All right, thank you so much for tuning into this video. This has been the luckiest maths teacher in the world. Have a great day.